till we begin, I would like to set the forum for today. We have all gathered here for a conversation on augmenting startups in sustainability and growth in oil and gas with Mr. Mandar Pathak. I would introduce myself as well. I'm Shayantan Shivam Chakravarti. I'm currently working in the capacity of Vice President with Advantage India. And it's indeed an honor and a matter of great privilege to have been able to host Mr. Mandar sir amongst us today. I would hand it over to Mr. Parth Sharma now. He'll be hosting this session and he'll be the one who will be interacting with sir. Parth sir, am I audible? So you are on mute.
Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. So let's start then. Good evening to one and all present here. I, Parth Sharma, the Chief Technical Officer at Advantage India, would like to take this opportunity to welcome you all on the behalf of entire Advantage India family for the webinar on the topic Augmenting Startups in Sustainability and Growth in Oil and Gas. We Advantage India is an e-learning platform aiming to guide students with in-depth knowledge of various industries and domains. Our team is a group of passionate professionals endeavoring to construct a platform where young and dynamic people can come together and interact with industry professionals, professors, and domain experts. I would like to extend my greetings to Mr. Mandar Pathak for agreeing to take this session with us. He's an alumni of MIT Pune, and he's an industrial veteran with 25 years of experience while working in companies like Kane Energy, Transocean, Blade Energy Partners. He started his own company 2 years back, ANAND Oilfield Service Private Limited, which provides project management, technical consultation, expert technical witness, oil-related services with equipment and materials. It's an honor to have you with us, sir.
Thank you very much, Parth.
So before we start this session, because you are having such a great experience in the industry, so can you just share with the audience like how it has been with like how was the experience like working in this industry for so long? Just a brief like.
The experience has been great. See, always I wanted to be in drilling when we did our petroleum engineering. During our BE, we had options about going for petrochemical or petroleum, which is petroleum engineering. I always wanted to go to drilling. And the good part about drilling, other than the money, is of course you get to see something new daily. It's always fun. Something new you are drilling, especially when it comes to exploration wells, and I have been drilling a lot of exploration wells. That's the fun part. Everything new, all the problems you face is always for the first time, and then you find some solutions to them, get past them, move on. And that has been a great experience over this period of time, 25 years.
I think it's more kind of a learning experience when you're in this industry, because every day, like when you're in the field, you get to learn something new. Like
absolutely.
When you're part, yeah. So, I mean, as I already mentioned, you started your own company. So what were some factors that guided you in direction of setting up your own company?
That is quite an interesting question, Parth. I have been in it for quite some time. Actually, I first took a stab at consulting back in 2010, 2011. That was my first step towards forming something of own or starting something on own rather than a normal particular job. I did that consulting for a year, and then of course KN offered me an employee position, which I definitely took. But I would say the main change happened when I joined Blade Energy Partners. Such a wonderful company, quite intellectuals to work with. So I was given responsibility for the Southeast Asia as a regional manager, as marketing as well as getting the actual work done. That was really fun part of it. Clients basically provide, it is not that was different, and typically I had a lot of inhibitions in my initial career that how can somebody be in marketing or sales. But that notion changed when I joined Blade and I started interacting with people and who had some real challenges or real problems for which they were looking for solutions. And most of the time, or almost all the times, Blade had a solution, and that was a part of it. In fact, that was the thing which really prompted me to start something of my own. That why I can't do something of my own. Of course, there are a lot of opportunities that were available at that point of time. And starting off your own with the kind of experience I have, of course, with the kind of a minimal investment to start with, I said, okay, let's take a try. And since then, it has been quite okay. So I could continue actually so far,
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, being at a part of this industry for so long and like at some position, so isn't it difficult, to take such a step, like because you are starting your own company and you are at such a position, everything in life is like pretty easy compared to like 25 years like back. So was it like difficult or like, I mean, but it's very hard to take a decision.
Yeah, to be honest, it was not hard for me, Grace. I got my first assignment with Worldwide Oilfield Machines to help them set up their operations in Rajasthan. They got a big order for wellheads, and that was a good start actually. So from there on, I never had to look back. So it was going on for a while. So it was supporting my business, though it was kind of a part-time, but initially I had to pay a lot of attention to the work and how the things are going. But over a period of time, when the people got trained, the things got easy. So at the same time, I also got to develop my other skills, or even I was getting good time for marketing. So it was good, not bad. In terms of money also, it has not been that bad. Of course, you have different perks when you are in a job. But this is a different fun, Of course, I also take that inspiration from my dad. He had been always a businessman, and at some point of time during the career when we were on the low side, actually, I said, well, I never want to do a business. I will always be in jobs. And that's how I started the job. I never joined my dad's business. But after a period of time, I realized that it's a different thing altogether, you work for your own and everything you create on your own. That was kind of quite motivational for me.
So we can say business kind of run in your blood.
Sorry?
I'm saying business kind of run in your blood.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Business and teaching, actually, So my grandfather was used to be a headmaster in a school. Of course, my dad, when he started his workshop, he was teaching all the technical courses. Like, I don't know if you have heard about it, but like turning job mechanic or scooter mechanic and draftsman, those kind of courses he started. And in fact, they were offered free of cost for basically physically challenged people also, at that point of time. So that was quite great. And of course, you always like to interact and learn and teach the people, so that comes and runs through my Blade, the business and teaching basically.
Teaching, yeah. So, I mean, when you started business, so like there are a lot of things that goes on, like designing and all that. So what did you keep in mind when you were thinking like designing the business model for your company?
Well, see, being in drilling, I didn't have to think much about it, to be honest. 25 years of solid experience of drilling project management, well engineering, that definitely came to my help. And in fact, that was like a seamless transition. So to be honest, it was not much of a struggle. The key part over here is you need to get your first assignment somewhere. So you can start and you can have a stable mind and start focusing on the assignment as well as what business growth you want to achieve.
Okay. I mean, so like you being associated with companies like Transocean and Kane Energy. So like, altogether, like, because both the companies are giants, so like, what was the kind of experience working in both the companies? Like, which company gave you more exposure to the clients? Because as far as I know, like, Transocean is more kind of service provider, and Kane, like, it gives to some other party, but Transocean is like they provide the services. So which company gave you the like more kind of experience?
In fact, both. In fact, both. You know, so when you are sitting on the other side of table, you understand what's going on. So typically with operator background, you only think more for operator. Of course, that's why you are paid.
Yeah.
But when I came to Transocean, I also understood there are a lot of other things which, as a contractor, one needs to consider, or a service provider, you need to consider. That kind of experience was great, especially customer focus. Also, being in Kane, it was very much customer focus company, and it was internal customer focus. So our customer focus as a drilling engineer or a drilling manager, my focus was to make sure I achieve the objectives of the geologist. I drill a well for them and get the logging and everything out. As a contractor, my focus was on customer goals. Okay, how do I make sure, how do I simplify the things for my customer and get the things moving, achieve his objectives and everything. So I think working with both of them kind of gave me a kind of well-rounded experience, you know, and I think people should definitely, if they get a chance, work for both sides and they really understand and really where people are coming from. Why is that particular person saying this way? Because you are not exposed to that part. And then you get to know there is always a reason behind doing things or not doing things, especially when it comes to operations.
Yeah, because like these two are like totally different companies and like they have different forte they're operating. It's like, I want to like, what was the experience like? And will you agree with my point that, you know, being a part of these two companies, so like these companies really help you like build your client base, or like you get to know like different people and then you make contacts with them. That is like it in terms help you in your business also.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because you see various people, of course, Transocean and Kane, the focus was quite limited. My exposure to people was not that much. But of course, once I came to Blade, and that was a full-time technical marketing role, and that's where I really got to know a lot more people. And that was quite helpful, you know, and quite a few contacts came from there. So that definitely helped. So more contacts were developed when I was working for Blade, actually. Of course, Indian oil field is so small that you get to know everyone over a period of time. And the important part needs to be understood here is typically from the people who are from the contractor side. They move around. They talk about you when you are as an operator. And already the people whom you are going to work for, they already know how you are. And to be honest, all of these, my contractors or my friends have been very kind with me, and they have given a positive feedback everywhere else. So that's how it was quite easy to find some work actually.
Okay. And like there's a good question that I have. Like 100 years ago, the class of 1920 graduated in the end of deadly pandemic, and also it was a time of World War II. And we have seen like many big entrepreneurs and business person, like they came out of that time. And like we are like 100 years now, like we are in the same situation. So what do you think, like if someone wants to start a business, so is it the right time, like taking the same situation 100 years back? So like, will it really give a boom to like young entrepreneurs and industrialists to set up their own company?
It's quite interesting question, Parth. You guys really well put. Like 100 years ago, it was 1920, of course.
Yeah.
Spanish flu.
Spanish flu and World War.
A similar World War was a big event.
Yeah.
Changing event. The entire world shifted from there. See, typically, the way I look at it is when something destructive happens, there has to be something constructive coming afterwards. you know. So people are in such a mental state that they see destruction everywhere. And then they want to make sure, or at least for the optimistic people, they want to make sure that they want to start something new. They are looking for, okay, what is not there, what has been missed in past, what was the things we need to focus on. And that's how the disruption, for that matter, or even the shift change happens, the paradigm shift happens during this period. Like giving my example, like first couple of months, I was just idling around. I did not do anything, you know. I was just enjoying the life, lying down, waking up late, and of course, helping my wife whenever I would get time. But it was idling around. But what changed, especially in last 2 months, was I got extremely busy with a lot of things, which I was not thinking 2 months back. Like one thing which came up, and it was, I believe, quite good thing happened was when the finance minister made an announcement about all the tenders below 200 crores would go to Indian companies. That really lit a spark, you know. So let's start thinking what can be done in that area. Of course, I had few my business ideas. The other thing which came up was, why don't we now gather people who are of same thought process, who would want to work with oil PSUs, especially because this was a government announcement only applicable for government organization.
What have done what that is?
Yes. So what could be done so that everybody can get a good exposure to the PSUs, everybody would get a job, you know. And then this idea came up. So a couple of months back, when I started talking with people, okay, what are the challenges you have faced so far? Now with this opportunity, what things you think you should, what the government should change, or what could be our suggestions to the government? So when I started looking into it, there was not a single association of Indian oilfield service provider which could do it. So then that basically evolved into an idea of forming this association of Indian oilfield service providers. So as of today, we have formed that association. There are almost 70 companies who have signed to this association. And the response was so encouraging that to everybody I would speak, or even my colleagues would speak, everybody was on board day one. So what we did is we came up with the challenges we are facing. And as of now, we have our website, www.aiosp.org. And we have posted the challenges which we are facing, or which government should help us to overcome. We have already written to the ministries, and we will be interacting with various ministries to help achieve those objectives of our association, and also see how we can contribute to Indian economy.
Yeah.
So once you start looking and see, look at the big picture. It's just a thought process, you know, Parth. Once you actually apply your mind, the things just start coming to you. Now there was an on the ONGC website, there was a 5-year procurement plan. You know, I looked into it. Fortunately, it had all the details, including the cost of material which PSU would like to procure. But that is not relevant. But then it prompted me to look at, let us see, with all this Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, vocal and local, what items of that procurement plan are available in India, you know. So that procurement plan was for around 5 years. 4.2 billion approximately was the estimate over there of the equipment which would be procured from everywhere, not just India, but everywhere. But then you start looking into it, almost 25%, say around 1.2 to 1.3 billion would be still procured from out of country. So that basically prompted me to, let us look what we can provide, or what all our friends from the association can provide. How much equipment, of course, quality equipment, and how much amount of we can add to that. So when we did a survey, and it was posted on our LinkedIn and also our website, what we gathered was almost $800 million of equipment can be made in India, or it's available in India. And it definitely could have been procured by ONGC from India. But this was the first ever attempt to actually gather this information at the end of the day to demonstrate that the Indian oil field is quite big in India. Now, a lot of people know only few big companies, but there are a lot of small players who have been contributing to Indian growth, and those people need to come and be visible. And I believe this association definitely would make them visible and see how the challenges would be taken care of, you know. So this is just an example. Now, I was not thinking, if you would have asked me 6 months back, Mandar, what were you thinking or what were you doing? Well, I was busy doing something. I don't even remember, to be honest. But with this 2 months of just lying down and doing nothing, basically came up an idea, again prompted by some external source. And you build this entire association in 2 months, you know. So there are a few other things from business point of view. Okay, what are the things which we can actually make in India? So, have started working on it. We are at a bit premature stage as of now. You start thinking constructively. You see a lot of destruction, and then you become aware of that, and you want to construct something positive out of it. So I believe that's what would have happened back perhaps after the World War or in 1920, people came up with so many ideas. Now, this is one of the things which I have came up with. Shift has happened in all this digitization. We are talking, in fact, on webinar. I wouldn't talk about it. So everything has changed, path, and I think let's say it's good.
Okay, I will request everyone to please can they mute themselves? There's a lot of disturbance coming. Thank you. Yeah. So I mean, what I could take from this, like, it's all about, you know, grabbing the opportunities. You will get it all around, like taking it back during the World War also, like steel got the boom, steel industry got the boom. And this time, like, because obviously weaponaries were there and all that supply were there. So like all that, obviously Tata, he took that opportunity and then he created all this industry with that. So, I mean, looking at this at time, so, and what concerns me more, like looking at the oil and gas scenario within India and outside India, like even in US and all these top like countries. So what do you think, like, do oil and gas industry still has that thing that it used to have like 100 years back, maybe, or 50 years back? Like, because if you see, you know, country, like big companies, they are, you know, selling their assets and all that stuff happening. So like people are mostly concerned about the future of this oil and gas industry.
Yeah, everybody should be concerned. I was concerned.
Yeah.
I was, I think in my 11th standard, about somebody said some point of time that, see, petrol is going to be very limited. Okay, I didn't even crude. Petrol is going to be limited. It's going to be over in next 10 years. Nothing happened.
Yeah.
So, of course, the nature of oil field is such that, and it's cyclical nature, it's demand and supply. So, over a period of time, I'm in this field since '92. I have seen 3-4 ups and downs. Was fortunate enough to keep my job. I never lost the job. But then you have to evolve. Like, for example, in '98, the oil price was low, $10 a barrel. But how many companies really stopped for drilling? Okay, people were still drilling. In fact, I remember at that time it was Command Petroleum. It was still making profit, you know, even at $10 per barrel. So what happens to these big companies? Of course, with this small players, unfortunately, they lose the business. So big players would take them on from a bigger company, move on. Also, now I can talk more about drilling since I'm from drilling background. Is people come up with, say, integrated projects. So before, say, 98, it was the way to look at was you go hire individual services and then bring them together and drill the wells. Then the service providers came up with a solution. Okay, let's integrate and we will provide a combined solution. Then recently, 2014, 15, in fact, 17, I would say, the era came about lump sum turnkey, wherein you just give one amount and that's it. The contractor will do everything for you. Now people are learning from them. That has not been that great of a success, which the information little bit which I have. And now what is going to happen is, again, companies will start disintegrating. That's what I personally feel. Again, these small players will come up and they will start providing service at very low or cheap rates. And after 6 years or 5 years, again, the consolidation will happen. So you have to move with the flow in this case. I had some point, I forgot about it, but yeah. So you have to keep yourself evolving and looking at the opportunities and basically adjusting yourself to come up with new thought processes, new mindsets, new normals, I would say. That's what happens.
So, I mean, a lot of students, like, they have joined us and they're like very, like, they don't know about the future, like, of the oil and gas industry, and like, they don't know when the companies will start hiring, because right now companies are facing downfall and the activities are reduced because of the COVID-19. So, like, what will be your message to them? Like, when can they, like, when can you see the industry, you know, resume hiring and everything? When it gets back to normal?
That's a good question, actually. No one, I hope I would predict that. But let me tell you again my example. Back in 92, there were no jobs actually in oil field, you know. The only reason I ended up in the petroleum engineering was that I couldn't get admission for mechanical engineering. That's different. But in 90s, ONGC had stopped recruitment. Our only hope in 92 was that, okay, ONGC conducts these interviews and exams, and we can pass through and we can get into ONGC or Oil India. Okay. It never happened. I never actually got into ONGC. I've been always working for ONGC as a contractor or a GV partner. But when I started my job in 92, I wanted, first of all, to be in the field. I wanted to be in petroleum field. I wanted to be in drilling. And I basically stuck to it. Okay. There were no jobs, all said. I started my career as a mud logging engineer. And I can tell you a small story about my interview, wherein they asked me whether you know Word, and it was Word Perfect, which is equivalent to Microsoft Word, or Lotus, which is equivalent to Excel. I had no idea. I told them that give me 7 days and I'll come back to you. And of course, over 7 days I learned, got the job, rest is all history. So whoever wants to really stay in the job, they have to have certain perseverance. The jobs are not available, I know. But I would only suggest here is, don't keep on looking for only the big companies. If you want to be in the field, contact small companies. There will be opportunities with them. And as I said, since it is going to be the tendering work below 200 crore would be as a part of the new policy. Of course, government is going to come up with quite a few things which would help locals to grow. So stick to those companies which are small, who have opportunities, and just be there, you know. Unfortunately, typically if you want to be in drilling as such, you have to be in the field, you know. You can't learn things sitting on the top or reading the books and everything. You have to be actually in the field.
Yeah.
I would suggest, as and when opportunity is there, small companies, start building your career, start investing in your career. at this stage, the salary shouldn't much matter. Like when I started my job, 1992, my initial salary was only 1500 rupees. And I had no clue what is available in the field out there. I was prepared that within 1500, I would basically do the job. I will hire a small place to stay and I will cook my food. But when I went to the site, everything was like there. So everything was free, stay, food, you have to work for 12 hours and that's it. That 1500 was 100% saving, you know. So you have to take a leap of faith if you want to be in the field, and you have to believe that this is what you want to continue with. And of course, the returns would come over a period of time, you know. Also, what has happened is because of this cyclical nature, there have been gaps in the experience. Like if I start looking around myself, I see a lot of experienced people who would move out in fact, they are ready to move out now. They are in 60s. Okay. And then I see back, and when I see other people and they are in their 40s. So there is a gap of this 20 years. There are very few people in this age group. And that what has happened, say for 40s, if you see around, that's what people you would see. Or if you are in 30s, you will see those people around. Unfortunately, the way the oil field has treated, a lot of people have opted out of oil field, you know. Yes. It has not treated quite a few people very well, I would say. And it's a matter of your perseverance and mindset, how you want to be there and stay in the field actually. Very challenging times, I would say. Let's hope this would change in maybe a year or so. But I would say just be there and see what opportunities are available, talk to people, and take it from there, guys.
So as we are closely related to the oil and gas domain, so you are aware that if you start any business or firm related to oil and gas domain, so it requires a huge investment, like at the starting. So like what are you like, even like if a fresher is starting or a student, like if he wants to, you know, do something, like we are the organization also, we are also trying to build something. So what is the advice that you will give us, you know, when we are starting this phase? Like, because I think the starting 1 or 2 years is the major time, you know, when you're building your company or building your organization.
See, typically, if you have to start any business, you need to have the experience. Okay. Yeah. I have started this business after experience of 25 years. Okay. Personally, I couldn't have imagined to start something fresh out of box coming out of my college. So the way the field is, unless you don't have that as a family business, it's challenging to start a business, especially on a scale, because of course, as you said, the investments are higher. As far as what you guys are doing, it's more of a teaching domain. There's there's not much investment needed into this field at this stage. What I would suggest is, see, for me, it took 25 years to start a business. Think right now what you want to do in next 10 years, and you want to start your business in next 10 years, and focus all your efforts over there. With the kind of experience that you would gain in 10 years, I'm sure you would be able to start your business. You would be able to raise the finances and also look for opportunities with other places, you know. Unfortunately, that's how, especially the oil field is it, because of the investments. Very few people can actually do or start business day one. It's more important to get the experience, because see, it's such an expensive work which we do. You need to have certain degree of experience even before people would think to start give you business, guys. So think from that viewpoint that you have to invest yourself and learn things to be able to start something as a new business, you know.
Okay. So like you said that you have started it's a kind of service provider. So as you said that there are many service provider players. So how is your organization different from conventional service provider?
So just clarify part, what do you mean by conventional service provider?
I mean, I mean, as you said that you started, like there are a lot of players out there. So what makes your company different? Like, because obviously when you start something, because what I mean is like there are already a lot of players in this field. So when you started, whenever you start something new, so you always think, how will we be different? Like what makes us different? So, I mean, how are you different? Like, have you ever thought about that? When you were going to start this, did you ever think about this? Okay, how will we be different? Because I think at the end, it's all about the competition whenever you're in the business.
Okay, just let me have a sip of water.
Yeah, sure.
See, let's look at it this way rather than different, because see, drilling is drilling. There is not anything different to it. Let me tell you that. Okay, you have to have the bit, turn it to the right. That's drilling about. Okay, go back over a period of 50 years. Look at the SP papers, and you would find that what understanding of drilling was there in those number of years, say back in 50 or maybe up to 65, 70. That understanding has not changed conceptually. The concept remains same. Today, whatever papers you see for SPE, they are advanced calculations or advanced mechanics or, of course, advanced material at that point of time. But again, the concept has not changed. Now, talking something different is, my question would be, why you have to be different? Why you can't be same? Because it's drilling, guys. Okay, if it would have been some software like some other disruptive software, if you want, it is different for sure. But drilling is properly conventional. The business, what you get is based on your reputation, based on your experience, and of course, to an extent, based on your relations, public relations with a lot of people around, how you have treated them or how they have treated you, you know. So depending on the kind of projects you have done in past, the way you have done, and that's how has created reputation. And that's how, especially for me, I'm getting my business. See, of course, there is always something just for the sake saying that something is different. Yes, yeah, you have personal touch, you do work with proper sincerity, you give the best return on investment to your customers. So those are, I would say, standard things that any business would do.
I think it more depends on the kind of like customer satisfaction, like how satisfied your customers are, and that gets you more business.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
See, I'm not doing anything very much different than anybody else. Let me tell you that. Okay, drilling is fun, especially I'm talking about drilling. And that's what I can talk about. So drilling is drilling.
Yeah. Okay. Like the more idea is like getting your customer satisfied. Like they're happy with the service. That's the kind of service.
Yeah, of course. It's optimized, cutting the cost. That's what you have to work. But you cannot actually go and sell it out. Say, okay, I can drill your well in 50 rupees. The other guy in 100 rupees. It's not possible. So it's all, it doesn't work that way actually in the oil field.
Okay. So, I mean, like what I read, like in the past few months, like most of the companies that they are investing in the green energy, the renewable sites, and half the companies, they have already switched to that side. So do you think that there's like a new industry growing up in that sector? Like if like some people, they are planning to, start something. So do you think that that industry is right? Like in coming years, that will be a boom, like new big thing, clean energy, renewables and all that?
Yeah, it will be there. It will be there. But with all defense for oil field, I would say it's there to stay for a while. And I would definitely, even today or maybe after 15 years, if I'm in good shape and health, I'll still be focusing on oil field, It's good to know they are doing something different. They have the money. They have made a lot of money from oil field, and that's what they are diversifying there. But the oil field is there to stay, guys. So still, almost 80% of work is very basic or similar kind of nature. The top maybe 15%, 20% is something where you need high-end technologies. Otherwise, the rest is, I would say, straightforward, simple stuff.
Okay.
You're talking about the business model, basically. That's what people are changing because they think, okay, the gas will come, take over, and all that stuff. There's a lot of statistics which would say otherwise, but oil is here to stay.
Okay.
Stay for a long time, because it's not going to be straightforward to come with electric cars and have the stations and everything. It's going to be a while, and still you need fuel for sure. There is no doubt. Fossil fuel here to stay for a while, at least till I am alive.
I mean, oil and gas industry is a very volatile industry, as everyone knows that, because like recently what I read that Ireland, a country like Ireland, so the government decided to not award any new licenses just for the oil field. So they are planning to shift to gas economy rather than oil. So oil blocks will not be awarded, but gas blocks will be awarded. So do you think like more countries can take this initiative and oil, like gas will be the new future?
See, it depends on country to country where they want to focus, because still oil is needed. As of now, of course, we have a lot of surplus of oil, or at least people are storing it. Gas is something which you definitely need. It can't be stored as the way you store the oil. So it is on countries' focus where they want to drill. As far as drilling goes, it's drilling basically, So all the services, what you need for drilling for oil or gas remains the same. They won't change as such. Do I answer your question, Path, or it was something different?
Yeah. No. I just want because like a lot of people, they are like quite scared. So like you were telling them like there's a hope. So like it cleared their doubts.
no problem.
Something area of hope for them. Yeah. So one more thing, every coin has two sides, right? So can you please tell us about like good and bad experience as a startup in this industry?
See, so far I had good experience, to be honest. People have been kind. All the contacts whom I have worked with, they have really helped me out and supported me for the business. I wouldn't say there was any bad experience, but there were some disappointments, I would say, of the business. Okay, when you're trying to do something, perhaps you don't have that time. Maybe the guys who are in front of you may not have that kind of confidence. But I would say, disappointments. Nothing actually bad as such. I think so far industry has treated me quite well. I'm quite happy about it.
Okay, I think we have some questions from the audience. Yes, I think Nishant Kumar wants to ask something. Yes, Nishant, what is your question?
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I am Nishant. I am currently working in Halliburton Office Research in Cementing Department. I just want to add on something to Parth's questions. Actually, oil and gas is never going to end. I have gone through a survey. I did a survey 3 to 4 days back, and I have seen that oil and gas is never going to end, because we have seen that, or we observed that renewable is growing day by day. But renewable is not a replacement of petroleum sector. It's only contribute 20% of total energy demand, and it's not going to be end. Oil and gas is not going to be end. It's renewable is growing day by day, but it's only contribute 20% of total demand of our energy demand. That's from my side. I just want to add on.
Okay. Thank you, Nishant. Yeah.
Thanks. That was great information, Nishant.
Yeah. I get your point. I just wanted is there any future, maybe 100 years from now, looking at the climate?
Yeah, the other thing, Parth, which I would like to add is you have to be flexible in business, and I don't mean flexible is cutting corners. Is flexible to come at a solution. There are different challenges to work. There is no doubt about it. But when you are actually doing your own business, you got a lot of technical freedom. Nobody is stopping you. Okay. Of course, in a job, it's a bit different because you have to work with a lot of variables around you. So which really helps me to come up with a lot of new innovative things or innovative ways to do the things. Like why it should be in a certain particular way, why it should not be in a different way, as far as you make sure that the intent of the process is not compromised, you know. Just to quote an example, I was with Transocean, and back in my days, I was in Houston. So one of the operators came up with a request that they just want to circulate the well after the testing. They don't want to circulate through the choke and kill lines, you know. And that is something contractor would never do. Okay. So just to cut the thing short, his only way to convince us was that it is a low GOR well. So gas breakout is not going to happen. You would not even see a bubble at surface.
Yeah.
You should consider doing it, you know. And it was all demonstrated with a proper model. It was software which was used to demonstrate that. And at the end of the day, it happened, you know. There are a lot of, if you go talk to people and tell, okay, this is something which I want to do. I want to flow the well without closing the BOPs or without the choke. People will say this is not possible. But when actually you start looking at it in a different perspective, look at the technical part of it, you always can think that with proper controls in place, you can make it happen, you know. So those are the kind of innovative things one needs to bring it. Of course, as I said, one should not be doing an unsafe operation. It has to be always a safety operation, you know.
There's one question from the audience, like, how much investment is needed when you start a business in oil and gas industry?
Oh my God. See, it depends on what you want to start, you know. For me, I had to just make sure I have enough money for 6 months of rations and groceries to keep my family alive and myself. It was not a big amount, you know. It was like 2-3 lakh rupees. But anyway, that's apart. But it really depends on the kind of job business you want to start about, you know, because as you guys rightly pointed out that it's expensive investment.
Yeah.
So it all depends what you want to do, you know. There are a lot of companies who started small and then grew over a period of time. What needs to be looked at here is government is incentivizing a lot of things for MSMEs. MSMEs is micro, small, medium enterprise. So keep an eye on that. They are also promoting startup. Okay, so if you have a brilliant product and you want to bring it to the market, that is an opportunity which is already there, you know. So you come up with something very innovative, something disruptive, and of course you can get into it. But again, everybody may not be able to do it. There may be few guys who can do it. So yes, you don't have to have that kind of investment to start with. I don't know what else we can say about it, you know.
So, I mean, again, like there are a lot of questions regarding the same thing again and again, job opportunities and all that. So, like, I will frame this question in this way because we don't know, like, when everything will get to normal. So, I mean, there are a lot of students who are stuck, they don't know. So, what is your suggestion, like, how they should utilize their time? Like, should they focus on, like, more, like, again, they should, like, concept, they should clear the concept, or they should learn some software? Like, how should they utilize this time?
See, with the kind of work, especially you guys are doing, your company is doing, Path is great work actually, you know. There are a lot of technical skill, and as well as I saw today, there was a soft skill seminar which you guys are organizing. Yeah. So that's the time to get involved in all these kind of activities. Don't stop learning for sure. Go check out, read your SP paper of interest. especially they would be free of cost for the students, and develop your liking in the particular subject or field you would like to go. See, other than that, if you wish to entirely change your side, that's also nothing wrong about it, I would say. In fact, I got a call a couple of days back from one of the guy, and he said, sir, I want to change my side. I've been working in oil field for 2 years now, and I lost my job. Now I want to go to procurement, which is, I said, great, no problem. It is up to you to understand that, okay, if you are going procurement, you will be treated as a fresher. Your salary definitely will not be the salary which you are getting with the previous job. And as far as you are ready to do it, it's fine. And see, in today's days, unless you are really working in a bank, again, it's private or PSU, there isn't any job certainty, you know. So it's a new normal, guys. You know,
it's a new normal.
A lot of people thought they will not lose the job, and this COVID came, and unfortunately, a lot of people lost their work. You know, people were thinking about, no, nothing will happen. But so you have to take it day by day, to be honest. You know, how your goals, vision, plan accordingly, and then take it from there.
I think it's time now. So thank you so much, sir. So with this, we come to an end, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for taking out your precious time and interacting with us. And I hope you must have given a ray of hope to students who are in a doubt regarding the industry. And I'm hopeful that with this session, students they will again focus on the oil and gas industry, and they won't divert themselves that there is no future in this industry. And thank you everyone for joining us with us today. I hope you had a great time and all your doubts were cleared. And before we end this, I would like to inform you guys that, as I already mentioned, that we are coming up with a new course that is regarding your personality development. So this course focuses enhancing your personality, how you talk to an interviewer, you're building your CV, your soft skills, and most importantly, LinkedIn profile, because this is the new normal and you approach people through LinkedIn. So how do you do that? And we have 4 people who will be taking this course for 10 days. So for more information, do visit our page on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and do follow us for regular updates. Thank you, everyone. Thank you once again, sir, for this wonderful session. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All the best. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nishant.
And do register for the course, because we are getting a huge positive response from people all around the world, not from India. That was not great. We were not expecting that. But from all over the world, we are getting this great positive response. The seats are filling fast. So do register. And thank you, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Okay. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.